Hey guys, welcome. My bump has definitely got bigger since the last video I've done for you guys. So I'm just over 33 weeks along now, and this class is suitable for absolutely anyone. So whether you're full-term like me, well, not full-term, but third trimester, not pregnant at all, beginner, whatever, it's suitable for everyone, okay? So all you need is yourself on your mat, a little bit of space, and let's get into it, starting in this seated position. So I'd love you to close off your eyes. Take a big breath in. Sit up nice and tall with your posture. As you exhale, drop the shoulders down. Let them soften and relax. Taking a few long breaths, breathing in length. And breathing out tension. Breathing in. And letting it go. Beautiful. Notice how much calming you might be feeling already. Feel free to open up your eyes. So this practice is going to be for the lower body. Great if you've done a workout for the lower body, or you're just feeling tight there, or just want to focus on this area. So what I want you to do is bring your soles of the feet together into butterfly pose. So arches the feet together, want to bring them nice and close to the pelvis, and you can hold onto your ankles like I am here, or maybe onto your feet if that feels better. So let's take another long inhale again, sit up nice and tall, and exhale. I want you to squeeze your glutes so that your knees start to drop down, and I want you to hold that pose there. Feel free to close the eyes. You'll find I'm often, or if not always, closing my eyes. Big breath in, sitting tall through the spine. And as you exhale, squeezing those glutes even more. Glutes being your bum cheek muscles. I'll refer to them a lot. And if anyone wants to take it deeper, I won't today, but if you want to, you can lean forwards into this pose as much as you like. So feel free to take that option. We're going to stay here for a few more breaths. So feel free to breathe with me. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath in and out. Lovely. All right, you can open the eyes, rise up if you've folded forwards. We're going to come over into tabletop, so I'll meet you over there. So hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We're going to just come into a little cat-cow. So this is great for the lower back, which also refers down to the legs. So inhale, drop the belly low, lift the chest and chin. And exhale, round the back to the ceiling or sky. Push the hands really firmly into the mat and use your abs and pelvic floor to lift up here as well. So we inhale to release the pelvic floor, droop the belly down, lift the chest and chin. Big long breath. Exhale, round it back. Lift the tummy and the pelvic floor, especially if you are pregnant. But everyone should be able to do this. Oh, my toes are cramping. Keep flowing with your breath. Oh, the joys of pregnancy. Doesn't matter if your toes are tucked or untucked here. One more breath each way. Beautiful. Let's do a little downward dog, great for the hammies, Achilles and calves. So bring your hands further to the top of your mat. Keep your toes tucked under here then, and then lift the hips nice and high, and we can just pedal out the legs here, nice and slow. So if this gets too much at any time, or you feel too much blood rushing to your head, just drop the knees and rest in a little child's pose. Otherwise, you can follow me and just pedal out the legs, walk in the dog.
So here it's really important to keep the tummy braced as well. We're dropping the chest but not sinking it too low, especially if you're hypermobile there. Lovely. And then inhale, rise onto both tippy toes. Slowly lower the knees down. Great for core control for everyone. Bring the big toes to touch and untuck them and walk your hands back. So we're going to sink into a wide child's pose. So bring those knees out nice and wide. Oh, my foot is cramping big time today. Knees wide. Now, if you're more heavily pregnant like me, you can bring your elbows out wide, stack your hands onto fists to whatever height you need to go. Otherwise, you might like to reach your arms out long and rest your forehead to the mat. So it just depends where you're at today. Do what feels right for you. Nice long breath, letting the chest drop and droop down, resting your forehead wherever you are. Definitely feels weird that my belly touches the ground now. Lovely, so this should feel really nice through the hips, inner thighs, lower back. Okay, we're going to rest, or rise rather, straight back up into our tabletop. So bring those knees gently in, back into downward facing dog. And then from downward dog, we're going to come into pigeon pose. So make sure you've got a nice long downward dog. So that means hands are quite far in front of you. Inhale, hover to a plank just briefly. Bring your right knee behind the right wrist and wriggle that right foot right across. So we're coming into the right glute and hip space here now. If you can, untuck your toes, see how my cramping goes, and take a moment to settle in. So we really want to keep the hips facing forwards or straight down here. So don't rest on that right hip. And if you do come lower onto your elbows, don't roll over onto that left hip either. So try and keep yourself grounded here and balanced. Think of the hips sinking lower. So let's take a moment here. I can only just fold forwards now. Belly again touching the ground or my leg. Notice how you feel in this pose now. I want you to close off the eyes. Let's take several moments here. Maybe let the chin tuck down, lengthening through the back of the neck. And your long breath. Feel free to follow my breath. One more breath down. Okay, if you have dropped down onto the elbows, come back up to the hands. And we're going to meet back in either tabletop or downward dog. I'm going to come into downward dog. And we're going to come straight to the other pigeon pose. So when you're ready, inhale to that plank. Bring your left knee in behind that left wrist. Wriggle that foot across as you go as well. Drop the right knee, inch your hips lower and lower. Just take a moment to settle in there. I like to sway my hips from side to side. Just gets all the ligaments and muscles all in the right spot. No point rushing it, overdoing it. Now if you need to stay upright here on this side, please do. Feel free to take it even deeper if you want to though. Keeping those hips nice and square. Lengthening with your inhale through the spine, dropping the shoulders. And maybe tucking the chin, letting the head drop. Rest heavily. Breathing here again. Every exhale, feeling the weight of your body help you into the depth of the pose. And the last breath here now. Beautiful. So don't rush out of this pose. If you're down on the elbows, lift back up onto the hands, because this time we're going to come out of it into a seated pose. So very gently roll off to your left hip and then bring your legs all the way back together. So we're going to come into a little bit of a hamstring stretch now. So I want you to bring your right leg, you guys can mirror me, your right leg out to the side. Doesn't really matter where you are on your mat really, so just bring it out to the side and then bring your left knee into this bent position, and it can be touching, it can be a little wider, it really just depends on your body here. So for starters, that right foot, flex the toes up and towards you. Hair in my face. And then your right hand's going to just rest on that right leg. With your left arm, inhale up high and wide. Start to lean the side of your body over. So I'm going to reach towards my foot now because I can reach it. See if you can. Maybe even your peace fingers wrapping around the big toes there. So that's feeling a little quite intense for me. So I'm going to back it off a little bit, and I want you to listen to your body to let go of any ego that doesn't need to be there. Notice where the neck wants to sit. The left arm is actively reaching, it's not just dangling down in front of you. So this is a really nice stretch, not only for your your right hamstring, but the back, upper hip, lower back area. Good, breathe through that. Every breath sinking into it, keeping that right leg active, not relaxing it. And what that means is keeping your toes flexing towards you and these quad muscles engaged. Taking one more breath here. Now we're not going to rise up, we're actually going to fold down over that right leg. So just bring your hands down either side of that straight leg. Try and turn your body over to it as much as you can, and then further sinking down. You might like to reach one or both hands to that foot or leg. Now I'm going to bring my your left knee in a little closer and go for that reach. So now this is going to get the hamstring a lot more. Keep an even reach if you can. Your left arm's going to want to reach further. That's just going to get in the back more though. So, sorry, your right arm. Keep both arms reaching. Keep that leg active and find 3 more breaths now. Inhale, lengthen through the spine a little bit. And exhale, folding back down. Inhale, feel free to flow a little bit here. Exhale. Last breath, in through the nose. And out through the nose. Wonderful. Inhale, rise back to a seated position. And we're going to swap legs. So bring it back in
Your left leg is going to go out to the side. Your right leg's going to come into this bent position. Shimmy the hips so that both hip points are grounded. So we've got left side and right side of the pelvis. Ground them evenly. Your left hand to the left leg. Inhale your right arm up and over. Start to come into a side reach. Reaching maybe to the ankle or the foot. Turning the neck where it feels right. And finding our rhythm. Remembering to keep that left foot flexing towards you. Relax the shoulders from the ears. Keep your chest open. And the ribs reaching for the sky. Just a few more long breaths here. Should feel really nice, especially through that back region that I mentioned before. Taking your last breath now. And then we're going to fold it down. So feel free to release your hand from the foot or leg. Bring one hand each side of your left leg there. Try and twist the torso to face that straight leg. Take an inhale, lengthen through the spine a little first. And then folding down, keeping your arms reaching evenly. So whether it's to the leg, to the foot, or either side of your leg. And let's fold and surrender here. Again, I'm going to bring my other leg in just a little bit closer. You'll feel what's right. Trust that intuition. So right now we're folding the chest down to that leg rather than the side of the body. Maybe feeling this in that hamstring. Maybe you can still feel it in the back a little bit. Let's take a few more long, mindful breaths. Maybe flowing in and out of that pose a little if you liked that. One more mindful breath. And inhale as you do, come back to a tall seated position. And we're going to come onto our side now. So come and lie on your side, any side. So say mirroring me, you can come down onto your right elbow. So from here, once you're down there, I've just got my knees in a bent position, but you can have them straight if you like. I'm going to reach back for your left foot, you are. So holding onto that foot, I've got my balance with that bottom leg bent, but remember it can be straight. If you want to stay elevated here on the elbow, you can. Otherwise, it might feel nice to come all the way down. Just a little less curve through the spine there. So I want you to squeeze through your glutes now, those bum muscles that I mentioned and will always mention in our yoga practice. And what that does is we're getting a big stretch through that top thigh there. Hold the pose, but breathe mindfully. Now if you can't reach this foot
for some reason, maybe just grab a strap, or even like a dressing gown strap can be really handy. So wrap it around your foot, hold on to that strap. It's really important you're not just hovering and trying to reach for it. If you find this quite easy, you might like to bring that knee further back behind you, not bringing too much ego into it. This could be our last pose. So really enjoy those muscles getting a good stretch out. One more breath only. Release that leg then. Now you guys can roll over. I'm going to just rotate over to the other side. Feel free to just copy me like what I just did there. Come down however you want to on the elbow or the side of the body. Reach for that top leg with the top hand then. So your right hand and right foot should be connecting. Once again, I've got my bottom knee bent just for balance. Feel free to close the eyes. So we're drawing that foot close towards the glutes. If it's easy, squeeze those glutes even more, and maybe bring that knee further back behind you. So take it at your own level. There's lots of options there. And find your breath. It's so important to breathe. I know I say it a lot. Get used to it. In and out through the nose, always. Anytime we need to breathe out through the mouth, if it's quite intense and you feel like you're just not releasing that tightness enough, or you've got a blocked nose perhaps. In and out through the nose is preferred. Just a few more breaths here. Last breath now. Release the connection of your hand and foot. We'll come back up into a seated pose. Beautiful. Well, I hope you feel wonderful and stretched out in that lower half of your body, and I will see you guys again soon. Namaste.